So what do you do then if I was saying to you, I want to have a comprehensive workout and you're designing my 7-day workout
Mm.
plan, what would you give me to do?
One of the best ways to train is with an upper lower split or with a push pull leg split. And again, if you were to do a push pull legs, I would then have to have you include your shoulders along with your chest and triceps there, right? Because it's your only shot in that week to do your shoulder work. And again, as a pushing muscle, it would go on the same day.
So Monday, what do I do
So
Monday?
you could do push there, right? But my one caveat to a push pull legs is that it tends to be a lot, right? Like you're doing shoulders, chest, triceps. Some people don't like that amount of volume,
What's
right?
push? When you say push to
So
someone that doesn't know.
yeah, so push is just the muscles who share a similar function of pushing. So if you look at a bench press, it's pushing the weight away from you is the concentric action that you're doing. If I looked at a lat pull down, I'm pulling the weight towards me. That's the concentric part of it. If I'm doing a bicep curl, I'm pulling it towards me. Triceps, shoulders, chest, everything is pushing. I'm pushing away this way, pushing away that way. Push up, I'm pushing away from the ground. Tricep push downs, it's in the name itself. I'm pushing down through a tricep push down. I'm doing tricep, lying extensions. I'm pushing the weight away. They would all go on a similar day. Again, I like the function of that because it's optimal recovery. So why that's good if you could tolerate, and I'm asking, if that's okay for you to do that because you're not naturally adding shoulders in. If you were okay with adding shoulders in, then you would do your push workout. And then what I would do is know that I'm getting enough recovery in between workouts because I could give you a day off in terms of weight training on Tuesday, come back and do Wednesday legs, right?
So Monday I'm just doing push upper
Just
body.
push. Yeah, just push upper body.
Okay,
Yep.
Tuesday you're gonna give me the day off.
Tuesday you get the day off.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give you two variations of this.
Okay.
And when I say day off, we if you were with me, you'd be doing conditioning. All right, so we'll get into that.
Doesn't sound
But it
like a
would be
day off.
yeah, it's not a day off. No, you give me 7 days, I'll take up all 7, even if I'm just doing ab work on some. But you then on Wednesday would come back and do your leg workout.
And what leg workout am I doing on Wednesday?
So it's gonna be front, anterior, posterior. So I'm gonna train your hamstrings, your glutes, and your quads. Everything will get done together. Thursday you'd have another day off.
Okay.
Again, likely not a day off, some conditioning. And then the Friday could be your pull workout. Now, what's nice about that is if you are somebody that doesn't recover as well as others, and this is not everybody, but that gives you a really good amount of recovery between those workouts. If you could tolerate more than that, the first step I would do is add a total body workout one more time. So I could come back on Saturday and add a total body workout. It would just be a little bit light on the pull because you just did that, right? You did the day before.
So my whole body on Saturday.
You could do it, when I mean like, I would pick very big compound movements that are representative of including as many muscles as possible at one time.
Okay.
And I could shy off a little bit, back off a little bit off of the pull that you were doing because I realized that you just did certain exercises the day before. So if I trained you on, and this gets a little nuanced, but if I trained you on Friday and a pull workout, remember I have different planes of motion I can move in. So if you were doing vertical pulling stuff like a pull up or a pull down, I could stress more horizontal pulling exercises like a seated row or a bent over row, right? So I could shift the focus a little bit.
And then
between the
Sunday
days.
I break.
Yeah, I definitely don't advocate 7 days a week of full training.
Where would I be doing my cardiovascular work in this particular week?
So in that scenario, I'd have you do your conditioning work on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Thought I had a break.
And if you had, your goals were more aligned with fat loss and overall conditioning, and you feel like you're, not as healthy as you could be there, I would probably take advantage of that Saturday to do that. But if your priority was the training side of it, getting stronger, building more muscle, then I would take advantage of that Saturday as my flex day to do training.
And you don't put the cardio on the same day as the upper body legs workouts.
It could be, but if your priority again is to build muscle, then prioritize muscle building. Put that first. Do your cardio conditioning work at the end of that workout. Something might suffer, and the thing that usually comes second is what suffers.
If we think just about Monday, which we had down as the push day, so that's
Yeah.
me doing like chest and is it
Triceps and
and shoulders. How many, if I'm training for 1 hour, how many reps are you trying to do per muscle, and how many like sets?
So set count, if you can get in, and again, this is a little bit determined by um, whether you're going to train on that Saturday. So if you're going to come back and train total body on Saturday, then I know I have an opportunity to maybe do bench again on Saturday, or a variation of bench, an incline bench. So I don't have to get all of my chest volume in that first day. But typically you're looking for around anywhere between 9 and 16 sets or so for that muscle group across the week. So if you were going to do, let's say, the one workout for chest, and you're doing, say, 3 sets per exercise, you're in that range of around 3 exercises, right,
Okay.
for chest. Now, you don't have to have that. The volume doesn't need to be as high for triceps, because you're obviously training your triceps while you're doing bench press. So you could put one direct tricep exercise in. If it was me, I would put something. My favorite exercise for triceps is the lion tricep extension, where I lay on my back on the bench and I do some people call them skull crushers or nose breakers.
If we just take bicep as an example,
Mhm.
how often do I need to train, and how intense do I need to train the bicep for it to grow? And conversely, if I just left my bicep alone, how long would it take for me to lose the muscle?
Yeah, interesting. So I think this is one of the most fascinating areas of training that has yet to be uncovered. I actually discussed this with Andrew Huberman at one point. It's very interesting. So from person to person, we know that there are different recovery rates between the people. From person to person, we know that there are different recovery rates between muscles. Like, you might do the same bicep workout I do and need more time to recover than I would. What's interesting is, from the individual themselves, certain muscle groups require more or less frequency to recover from. So I might find that I could train my biceps every 3 days, but I could never train my back every 3 days, or I could never train my chest every 3 days. It's just so intricate, because every muscle is going to be different for every person. And even at a holistic one level, you're just not going to find the same recovery rate across the board for every muscle in your body. So a lot of times I think people should rely on a little bit of training intuition to say, hey, like, am I increasing my weights? Is my strength going up on the lift? Am I feeling excited to train that muscle when I go to train it? If I am, then I'm probably recovering well. And you can experiment with, like, hitting it again more frequently. I think in the big picture, the more frequently that you can stimulate a muscle, the better the results are going to be.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.